Okay, guys. I don't know how far behind we are, but we talked about in our first session how we organize the practices, and we try to touch on we give special teams and everything it's due every day in practice, but we're a small class two football team in Missouri out of six classes, and with our pistol wing tee, we try to be multiple in what we're doing and find ways to run the ball off tackle and gig people with counter and varieties of ways to run the ISO. And but with all that being said, this final presentation, we talk about our screen game. I absolutely love the screen game. Sometimes in certain formations and certain sets, we have become somewhat predictable in what we're going to do, and versus some teams where we feel like just man for man, we have the advantage. I think everybody in the stadium knows what we might be getting ready to run, and when you do it and still are able to run it at a high level, uh, it's a really good feeling when you get things blocked up, even when everybody and including the defenders have a good idea of what you're getting ready to do. But my contact info, we've been flashing up there. I've had about 8 or 10 people follow me on Twitter here since we've been talking. One just reached out to me about more information on our A-gap power and how we're running that at the high school level. When we put in A-gap power 2 seasons ago, I told our coaches, I said, what have we been doing? Why was this? It's not like it's some revolutionary idea. We didn't create it. We didn't create any of this, but everything, when you've been able to establish some success, everything is a formation of ideas from other good coaches. Coach Stewart being one of those that we've really reached out to, and blending things together to make it work for you. Okay. But at our level, I had a coach call me about talking at his clinic in Illinois. We spoke at it a couple of different times, and he asked me this year. He reached out to me to see who else was running wing tee really well in our area. I said, no one. Nobody in our area is running it. We don't see it. And when teams play us, they have no idea how to stop ISO, how to stop counter and the this and that with what we're doing. So I feel like that gives us a huge advantage. Everyone gets really good at defending themselves. I get so pissed off in practice because we can't run buck sweep very well against our JV because those kids know how to stop it, and they know techniques and things to isolate our blockers and put things in a pinch. But anyways, give me a follow on Twitter. Give me a call on my cell phone, anything there. Come back to the video and take a screenshot of this and reach out to us. What we do, but that aggressive play calling mindset and being very multiple and never forgetting about the screen game is something we've tried to be committed to. I showed in the first presentation how we package our practices. Going into every ball game, we have at least 5 to 6 active screens, and the kids know, and of those 5 to 6, those are ones that are really scripted towards what we expect to see, the strengths and weaknesses of the opponent. But our base throwback screen and our base tunnel screens, those are in on the drop of a hat. We'll run those at any time. It's one of those things. Double screen. All of these screens have one word tags associated with the names of them. As we get to it, and I'm going to get to those here in just a moment.
So the drawing here kind of shows that for you. Out of this double twin set, our right tackle here will look outside. He will call 2-2-2, knowing that he is going to go try to block the second defender on the outside, because your receiver out here will take the first. He's going to 3. He's going to 4. This is your rat kill trying to pick up retrace. Back when we started doing this, they were less strict on the retrace rules and some of those blocks behind plays. And we used to have a lot of nice little kill shots on DNs who came up trying to get onto things. Obviously, rules have changed and they don't like that so much. But it's still a very key, important piece to our protection. Rarely do we get into a set where we would have one receiver alone out there, but when we do, we will make a 1 call on that. The drawing you see here is a 3 call. So again, 1, 2, 3 outside, he's going to the third. If we were to run the screen this direction to change it up, this tackle would now be going all the way out to kick here. He's going to 1. We're setting, and he's trying to work to 2. He's setting and trying to work to
there
3.
are rules on that. Like you've seen some the throwback screen where I talked about our tackle that on a basketball team, great big old kid and very mobile. We talk to him like if he's got this long path to get out to a single receiver side, we talk to our backs about that too. Like this H back, or we talk about this tackle run through number 1. Good coaching points. Run through number 1 to get to number 2. All right, if they're counted their defenders to where there's a defender between them and their assignment, we want them to run right at that cat. All right, run through number 1 to get to number 2. And when they get to point of contact, of course, it's an avoidance path. But that's a key phrase. I don't care if you're running wing T or what you're running. That's a key phrase in executing screen game well. I feel is run through 1 to get to 2, run through 2 to get to 3, so on and so forth. If you're counting bodies, that's a good way to go about coaching screen football. Okay, here's a look at us throwing the tunnel. All right, so as you look at it, back to how we call stuff. If you've been watching our earlier presentations, this is a red set. There's our tight end. We flip our whole lineman. So if this would have been blue, everything's over here, our quick side, everything flips. We also flip our holes. All right, this is back to the run game talk. We also flip our holes. When we do that, the one thing we do not flip is our bullet, bomb, missile, rocket terminology. All right. So to make what I'm talking about fit this topic, we are in red and we are calling bullet. You see this tunnel to number 1. We're calling bullet. So if anybody on our schedule is watching this, we're giving away some huge tips here. But if you're a wing T guy looking for ways to condense your screen game, I suggest you try stealing some of this. All right. Because it's super easy. Red bullet. All right. So if we're in blue, if we flip it and call blue, the X would be sitting down here on this 4 below the numbers. All right, we'd call blue bomb. All right, red bullet, blue bomb. All right, same way to package the same place. Okay, and you're going to see our linemen getting out. They've already counted what Coach Alberti just talked about. They've already counted numbers. All right, and they're getting ready to collision and get out. Our wingback maybe leaves a little quicker than I like. Our tackle does a good job staying home. We're getting out mauling bodies down the field here. That's a pretty good football team that's in our league year in, year out. No one knows what we're doing and still has trouble.
Yes, very good tackle getting out, putting people on his back, other linemen doing the same. I like a nice wall out there doing it.
Okay, here's out of an empty set. Okay, so tunnel to number 1. Okay, so like I just talked about, this would be white right to us. So if we just, I would just shout out here, white bullet, white right bullet. That's all we say in our play call. Of course, you're going to see it on the clip based on what we're running and the press coverage. All right, the tight coverage, he should be running super flat right here to get that guy blocked up. Okay.
Decent redirect on that.
One thing we talk to our cats about, this receiver doesn't do a terrible job, but I would like for him to press this guy off the ball harder. All right. We tell him to press off hard 5, and we totally want them to retrace their steps. All right. When they totally retrace their steps, then they can come get underneath the kick out block. Okay. And then after you catch the ball in our screen game, we stress the phrase, get 5 our way. Get 5 our way, meaning straight ahead. When you catch the ball, you are plunging for your first 5 yards of gain. If you get those first 5 yards, then you can go be a dude, be an athlete, run wherever the hell you want. All right, to try to get to the goal line. Okay, but it's get 5 our way after you catch the ball. Okay, so there you go. You see him just turn into an athlete after they make that catch. Okay, so here's a flipped formation. All right, we are in blue here. Last one we were in a trip set. We're in blue here, so we're going tunnel screen to the number 1. All right, so we talked about bullet and bomb. All we're calling here is blue bomb. Okay. One thing Coach Alberti talked about earlier when he was speaking is blocking schemes. Okay, you go counting numbers. All right, the number 1 and the number 2. All right, as far as how these guys communicate and get out in space, they do a real good job. Our tackle does a good job here of just getting hands on. A guy wants to be aggressive, let him go. All right, that is not a killer block. If anything, he is running too fast at his assignment. We want him to throttle down, and he could just almost stop right there and set a screen and keep that guy inside of him.